Very few writers could afford to build a house like this, but Sir Walter Scott could. As a writer, I'm just as interested in how other writers live as much as their work. That's a part of the writing life, right? Like, you know, where your desk is, what the study's like, are they messy, you know, did they have all their books around them? You're also hoping that some of the magic will brush off on you when you're sort of hovering over their chair or looking at their desk.
These days, Abbotsford is open to the public. Anyone can visit. Sharing its stories is curator Kirsty Archer-Thompson.
So this is Abbotsford.
This is Abbotsford. This is a house that Scott built.
So it reminds me of lots of places that I've seen over the years. It's that Scots baronial style which started here, right?
So this is an architectural style, and you're right, there are echoes and allusions going back to the late medieval and indeed the sort of Renaissance period as well. And all of it comes together in this sort of picnic fashion. Scott said, this is the history I love, from the Scotland I love. So what he was creating here is a real stage set for history, and you know, everything that made his brain spark.
I think one of the things that puts a lot of people off him now is Abbotsford, because I think they look at it and they think, oh, get him in his castle. He wasn't born in a castle. No. He built this castle through his labours, through his work, through his imagination. And I think I think there's something about that if people knew that he was that he's self-made and he made this.
You're quite right. A lot of people don't realise this was an ordinary, very sickly boy from you know, a middle-class family who had to work hard to get by, and that it was talent that got him here.
Oh my God, was he expecting a war? Like, was he a prepper? Was he? This is Scott the frustrated soldier. It's a really weird mix when you walk in here of stuff that looks like treasure, and then stuff that looks like from a car boot, like from a coach boot sale, like in the 19th century.
This is everything that interested him. Right. And you know, Scott is not somebody who is only interested in the lives of the kind of key players or the aristocratic families of the past. He's interested in ordinary people too, and in the kind of things that they used every day.
It's a mood board, isn't it?
So Damian, I think the next room is probably going to be your favourite. Let's go to the writer's study.
Okay, I'm so excited. Oh, this is the writer's room. It's like the dream.
The dream, yeah, the kind of quintessential, probably one of the most famous writer's studies anywhere in the world.
So this is where the magic happens. This is where he sat.
Exactly. He sat here and he wrote here, and there's something quite magical about that.
And there's absolutely no way on earth this desk would have been tidy.
No.
We're surrounded by books. What are the books that are in here, and why are they in here and not in the library? So why did he want these books around him?
These are principally books that you would need most often as reference materials that aren't specific to historical periods. So there's a lot of encyclopedias and dictionaries, dictionaries of languages. So really it's the things that you might most regularly need to pluck off a shelf as a writer to refer to.
So these are his workbooks, and this is his Wikipedia.
Yes,
so
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So this is our cabinet of curiosities. These are some of Scott's smaller curios and possessions that he loved to tell stories about. I love to imagine him on an evening playing a bit of a call my bluff with his house guests, because some of these things have cast iron provenance, others are a little bit woolly flights of fancy. And that was how Scott operated. You know, it was a storyteller. That line between fact and fiction is one that he regularly hops over.
Yeah, I see a lock of Bonnie Prince Charlie's hair here. I mean, the amount of hair that Bonnie Prince Charlie must have had, the amount of locks of hair that are going about, and then that's his Culloden musket ball and oatcake crumb.
Yeah, hands down my favourite thing in the collection. This was something found in the pocket of a dead Highlander on the battlefield of Culloden. And you know, this is the last pitched battle fought on British soil. Obviously the Highlanders were decimated. Yeah. And you know, they'd had difficulties with their supply lines. They hadn't got the food rations they needed to do what they needed to do in that terrain. And that was a man's last morsel, and he didn't get to eat it. And that's the resonance, actually. You know, however funny and quirky it is that this fossilised crumb still exists, where does it take us in our minds? You know, where would it take you as a writer?
Scott only ever left here reluctantly, and it's very easy to see why. It's not just beautiful, it's a place that he's created entirely. It's his world, it's his kingdom. And when you're in it, even just for a day, you feel like you're part of that somehow, you're part of the story.